We were going to talk about one of the oldest business debates in the book. Should you use debt to build your dream or wait until you're saved enough to fund it yourself? So, welcome back to Epic Lunch and Learn, the show where real estate meets real talk and your lunch break into a masterclass. I am Dante Royster, your mortgage broker, author, and your guide through the maze of money, markets, and mindset. And today we have Randall Avery and Vince Bertuccini, and we're going to have a special topic today.
So debt is I'm borrowing money from somebody else with the expectation to have to pay it back at some future date. And the reason a lot of people use debt is that it leverages their situation. But the conversation today, we're talking really about business debt. And people say, hey, if I want to do this thing tomorrow, if I want to do this thing as fast as possible, I could potentially go to a bank, get a loan, and I can begin operating. But there's a lot of risks that associated with that.
I mean, it is. I'll start off with a quote that I looked up, and I like this. And this was from Henry Ford. A man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time.
Mhm.
And so, obviously from a business perspective, if trying to build a business, it do we what about the opportunity cost that we're losing out if we don't have the funds, to embark on something right now? The timing sometimes is so important in a business when you see a problem that you can solve.
And there's very few businesses that I know of that you can't serve that society, that niche population in a certain way without having a large amount of capital. So when we say serving society, when we say helping people out, you can do that at any income or level. There's a lot of things you need to learn. And if somebody dumped $50,000 in your pocket your first day in business, how much of that money would be wasted, allocated toward things that we thought were good ideas because we may have heard or seen other people do it, but it didn't fit what you specifically wanted to do.
So when you're thinking about liquidity's sake and having capital, sometimes you have to grab it when it's there, when the iron's hot, so to speak, and then or forever hold your peace. Taking on that risk on a monthly perspective, I think to some degree, debt will provide a certain amount of stress onto a business, right? But at the same time, with that growth, it might provide you the liquidity you may need when things go awry, things that you don't anticipate for. And so, I would just always, say leveraging out for opportunity is to me good debt.